Good morning. I hope you're doing fantastic on this Saturday morning. If you're joining late because you slept in, that's okay too. Appreciate everybody watches the replays, comments, watches live, shares, helping get this podcast and live videos out to more and more people. You're all appreciated. So thank you. This morning, I have my book cup because we're going to talk about some books today. I like doing that on Saturdays. Won't be doing it next Saturday because next Saturday I'll be getting up at 3 a.m. to head to the airport to get back home. So I'm not even sure just what time I'll be broadcasting next Saturday because of the flights and stuff. It'll be broadcasting a few different places here in that next week, traveling. But today we got book cup. We have some books to talk about. And the first one is a monster of a book. And Dixon says, Dr. Kimm, a martial art icon. Jay says, good morning. Vicky and Jay both there. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Jay. Appreciate you being here. Yes, Dr. Kimm is a martial arts icon, and his books are huge. This is one, and I'll be sharing another one or two of his throughout the times I share books. But I'm sharing this because it was the first book that I got from him. One of the first times I met him and trained. So, it's signed here way back in March of 2002. So March of 2002 was the first time I had a chance to train with Dr. Kimm and meet him. And that's when I received this book. The last time that I got to see Dr. Kimm was last month at the Korean Martial Art Festival. So I've been seeing him and getting to do seminars with him for many years. A martial art icon. He has a multitude of books that are all this size. This particular one, Hapkido 2, was a redoing of his original Hapkido book where he restructured the curriculum. And this is a technique curriculum book. You'll notice it's very photograph heavy, describing the techniques of his curriculum, the Hapkido curriculum that he did. And then in the beginning, there are some different things about different people. There's a picture of Bong Soo-han, another martial art Hapkido icon that I was fortunate enough to meet and train with. Not as many times as Dr. Kimm because sadly he passed away with cancer, but he's the one known for Billy Jack. But so there's some different history. There's a picture of Chae Young-sul up there in the corner. In Korea, we had a picture of Chae Young-sul hanging in our dojang because he's Dojunim, the founder of Hapkido. And so this is just a really awesome book to have in your collection if you practice and study Hapkido. Even if you don't do Dr. Kimm's same curriculum or style, you're going to see things in here that you can add to your curriculum or modify to your curriculum because there might be a variation. And it's just a really cool reference book if you do Hapkido. So I wanted to share that one first. Dixon says, great format prior to the advent of sharing video. Exactly. We didn't have YouTube and so plentiful and everything when he published this book. And sometimes just having a book is just different than video for certain things when you're wanting to learn and study and index things. So great resource if you're a Hapkido person. And it just means a lot to me because I've had a chance to train with him and the book is signed from way back when. Second book today, another of Vince Flynn's, The Third Option. And this is just a continuation. We had term limits, transfer of power, third option, then separation of power, which I sort of read before. And so some of the stuff in this book was setting up separation of power, which I had already read and sort of knew and could see where things were going because of that. Just good, fun thrillers with a lot of political intrigue, Washington, D. inside sets. So if you like action thrillers, again, Vince Flynn is a fun, good read. So I enjoyed this one. And I'm reading the next one. Executive Power is the one I'm reading right now. So I'm sort of reading it back in order. I read Separation of Power out of order, but Executive Power comes after Separation, and that's the one I'm reading now. Discuss that a little bit later. It's interesting, though, to see the mixed Mitch Rapp character and where things go and how things work out with him. So fun, good book. And the third book today, last of the three, classic Getting to Yes. If you're in the mediation or conflict resolution field, you've probably heard of this book and probably have read it. If you haven't, it's a good, easy read that has some really good foundational principles on conflict. And so if you're negotiating, resolving conflict, any of those things, the principles in this book, important. When I teach my effective communication classes for conflict, one of the things I do in that class is I look at interests and positions. And that comes from this classic book. And there's an example of the lady with the orange and the two kids. And that comes from this book. But it really illustrates where people's positions are versus their interests. And when you get past the position to the interests, you can do better negotiations and you can be more successful at resolving conflict. So there's some really good tidbits in this book if you're wanting to negotiate, resolve conflict better, communicate with other people better. So it's a classic. I think it was written in the mid 80s, but it's still a bestseller today. You can find copies at used bookstores, new bookstores, Amazon. There's updated versions. This is the second edition with answers to 10 questions people ask in this edition. So good book on that. So those are the three books this Saturday. I won't be doing books for a little while because next Saturday I will not be doing books since I'll be traveling. I'll still be doing a podcast. Might be at an odd time, but coming to you every day. Haven't missed a day this year and don't plan on missing days. Try to give you something of value each day, whether it's on safety, whether it's on martial arts, whether it's some books that I've enjoyed that hopefully you will enjoy, whether it's just talking about some ways to be a little bit more motivated and successful in your life. Coming to you with all those different things to help you enjoy life safely, and be the best exceptional person you can be. With that, I'm going to say have a fantastic Saturday, and we'll see you tomorrow.